Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to take a look at floor 19 of the Kinki no Goku, and this one features, well, the photo shows Catastrophe, but it also features Canaan. So let's take a look at it real quick to introduce, and don't forget the super up elemental effectiveness is in play for this stage. However, keep in mind that since this is a light-dark relationship, there is no weakness attributed to that, right? Dark is strong against light, light is strong against dark, so the multipliers for damage you give will be still the 2 times, but the amount you take, because they are also superior, is still high, but a little bit different. Game width says it's going to be about 1.65 times the normal damage if you end up taking the superior type here. Keep in mind that both light and dark will show up on the stage. Alright, so the main gimmicks, weak point effectiveness is increased, so it is about 19 times usual, or you'll do 19 times the damage when you hit the weak point. In addition, this features a weak point movement only when you hit it, so and it is a physical hit, so a bump combo does not count, but if you hit the enemy's weak point, it will move to its other position, and again, if you hit it there, it'll go back, and that's about it. It won't move until you hit it as well. In addition, there are some pierce obstructors, and we've got gravity barriers to worry about. And honestly, the most important thing is the fact that you have to know your sets. These monsters will revive each other if you don't kill the sets at once. Once you kill all of them, you're basically going for the weak point to do that extra damage. So let us get started. And hello. Oops, I guess I'm a little bit low there. We are going to take a look at the first stage. So first things first, you can see on the bottom I have color-coded the sets. You can see the Typhons in the middle are one set. On the bottom right curvature, we've got 2 mosquitoes and a Thunderbird, and another pair or set on the top left of the map. Now, the mosquito and the Typhon have lethal attacks, so you do need to take them out before that big number hits 0. The Thunderbird does not have a lethal attack, however, it does hurt. In addition, the mosquitoes in this stage do a Tribe Pulse. That Tribe Pulse, if you remember how that works as a bump combo, it will hit all other enemies that share the same class. So now that applies to you as well. So all characters that have the same class will get hit, and it's a pretty powerful attack. So make sure you don't bring too many members of the same class, which is actually a unique requirement. Step 2, you saw that I cleared out the Moroks on the top left and the bottom right. You got to take them both out at the same time. Once you do take them out, you have the ability to move around this stage and take advantage of the cannon base. The cannon bases are you're gonna be your source of damage to damage the turbines in the middle. So basically, just ride the path, the diamond around the turbines. As you can see, Solomon's bump combo there is really strong for this stage. Since it pierces, it gives you a good opportunity to hit everybody and get some extra damage that way. Stage 3, you can see the 2 Moroks on the right side of this stage. You gotta make sure you clear them out ASAP, because again, that will allow you to move around and take out that turbine that's on the right side of the map. You can see the red circles in the little map there. Again, got a little lucky with Solomon's placement and the bump combos to take out everything at once. And once you do that, it will reveal Canaan's weak point, and you have the option to hit her directly there, or use the cannon bases. Now, keep in mind that Canaan only has 1 weak point, so it won't move around. There's nothing to move around. So it isn't too bad. However, stage 4 is when it starts to get a little bit iffy. You see that there's a Typhon in the middle of the map, which is actually really hard to get in there if you're not in a good position. I actually had a nice setting with the Mu there. It was actually nudged in between, but somehow the Solomon was able to move up and take those out really quick. But otherwise, you see that there's a set on the bottom, set of 3 on the bottom, and a set of 3 on the top as well. It is really hard to hit them. I feel like the top one especially gave me a lot of trouble in previous attempts. So, kind of just try and get used to the angle. You can see that there's weak points on the mosquitoes, and of course that should be your obvious goal, right? You hit the weak points, you're going to do a lot of damage. Maybe you'll get lucky with some bump combos, with Solomon's bump combo, for example. But yeah, making sure you're able to take out the set before that big number on the mosquitoes or the Typhons take you out is very important, right? Just don't lose track. If you need to just take out that one to reset the death counter, that's fine. Just as long as you're aware of it, that's what's important. And of course, you know, if you take too long, Catastrophe's big number in the middle is not friendly. Got that last touch with Solomon, and as you can see, the weak point will show up. Now, Catastrophe actually does have two weak points. There's one on the bottom side of him and on the top side of him. And as you can see, the reason why I brought Succubus here is that her bump combo is actually very strong on the stage. You can latch onto one of those weak point locations with her strike shot, right? And all you need to do is bump her while the weak point is on her side of Catastrophe, and it'll do a lot of damage. Of course, if you're a little bit off, you could miss all of those bump combo damage, but from my experience, it has been pretty darn successful and pretty darn powerful in this stage. Move, of course, you know, that speed up allows him, with the super null gravity barrier, allows him to move around quickly, you know, have a better chance to take out extra minions that you may have missed earlier. And of course, Benzai 10. She's amazing. Too good. Alright, stage 5, again, make sure you take out the Moroks quick. They do a lot of damage, and if you do end up bringing deity types, he is a Slayer L for them, I believe, so that poison mist, or sorry, Tried Pulse attack will hurt if it does hit you, so do take care about that. But once you take them out, you open up the channels to take out the turbines on the left side. Again, you do have to utilize the cannon base. Maybe you'll get lucky with some bump combos. I think that was 2 beams worth of damage on that turbine, so Solomon, of course, being pro here. And now you see the weak point on the right side. Again, Canaan only has 1 weak point, so all you have to do is wail on this weak point. And as you can see, there is no cannon base that is going to be hitting that weak point this time, so it is up to us to actually just start hitting that weak point. Now, I do want to warn you that the weak point for Canaan on this stage is, I feel like it's a little bit higher than where that weak point shows, you know, just a little, like where that, I don't have any pointer, but just under where that red mark is on the right side. You should be like using that as your guide point to do a lot of damage. So, but as you can, we have plenty of time, you know, as long as you're focusing to get at least 1 solid hit on it, you know, you're gonna do enough damage so that you won't run out of time, which is great. You have a little bit of leeway, you know, maybe, you know, if you spend some strike shots, that's an option. Again, you can see that it's whittling down your HP, max HP, but you know, I didn't really have to worry about Canaan's attack while running this, right? It was just mainly, can I clear out the mobs on this stage in enough time so that I can actually focus on damage. Once you have that set, it's pretty darn easy. So definitely one of the easier Abyss stages, with the exception to, you know, the boss ones, which I'll gladly yell about in a few minutes. Stage 6, you can don't worry, it's not all 4 Moroks at once. You got the right 2 is one set, the left 2 is one set, so just make sure to take out those at the same time, either the left half or the right half. And then you see the turbines in the orange in the middle. Again, you're going to want to clear out the Moroks first, because that'll give you an easier path to move around all of the cannon bases. But as you can see, we got that. Solomon is going to do her thing pretty close. But now, again, since those 4 Moroks are gone, it should be fairly easy to take advantage of all of those cannon bases to take out the turbines, which we did. And as you can see, the weak point is on the bottom of Canaan this time. And just like before, oops, sorry. Again, my audio cut out in the middle, so I had to replace it with the backup BGM I had. But the weak point is on the bottom of Canaan, so again, you can either take advantage of the cannon base or hit her directly. I found it much more easier to take advantage of the cannon base because it is in a nice diamond shape, which is very nice of them to do. Alright, boss stage 1. This stage, I have no idea how you're supposed to reliably get into the Typhons in the middle. I've tried many times and failed many times. I don't know, the hitboxes just don't work with me, right? So This is where I use Solomon's strike shot, to be honest. Solomon's strike shot in her Evo form basically does a big blast, kind of like Gone from one of the collabs before. But it does have a range, unlike Gone. Gone was guaranteed that the entire stage gets exploded. But here, not so much. So you're going to want to try your best to hit somebody in the middle line of this stage. That will guarantee everybody gets, basically guarantee everybody gets pulled into that blast. And it should be good enough to take out almost everybody. We can see that right here. Boom. Okay, so the Typhon had a little bit of HP left, but you know, with the moving around, it gives you enough leeway to basically pummel everybody, which is great. You know, I've lost a bunch of times on this stage just because I couldn't get the right position in those Typhons, so I was more than happy to spend the strike shot here to take him out. This leaves the stage, so I'm going to use Succubus's strike shot here to try and position her. Now, I really should have gone to the right wall first, then go to the left to guarantee I'm going to be hugging that weak point. I am a little bit too far to the left to get optimal damage here. As you can see, I could have done a lot more damage if I was just snug on the right side of Catastrophe there. Luckily, Solomon is in a perfect position right now for the weak point, but you know, you can get lucky like that with Solomon's Evo form in this stage, and when you do get that perfect position, it just feels so good. But yeah, I mean, I did screw up Succubus's strike shot there, but if you are successful like that, you can easily, you know, drain this entire bar in just almost one shot. I feel like I know I've done it before, but again, you know, don't forget about the fact that the weak point will move whenever you hit it, and only when you hit it. If you don't hit it, it's not going to move randomly on its own like usual, right? The rules are a little bit different for this stage. Alright, and now we're to the final boss. Again, almost everything is here, right? So you've got the mosquitoes, you got the Typhon, and I don't know why I used Moo's strike shot. It obviously wasn't enough to take out the pair at the bottom, so that was just a wasted turn. But again, you see the two Typhons on the bottom of the map, you've got the turbines on the bottom left triangle, and then you've got the mosquito and Thunderbird pair or set on the top of the map. So there's a lot of things you have to worry about. Of course, I would focus on the Typhons because they have a very low death counter, making sure you can get that pinch to get rid of them. Not even pinch, just like the bump, 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 to take them out is super important. Benzai 10, of course, her strike shot is pretty darn awesome. Every monster you hit will follow up with a big blast. Fortunately, I missed that mosquito on the top right, so that was actually an unsuccessful strike shot. So I was pretty bummed at that point, but you know, gotta keep trying. And I think I get lucky with Moo's turn. Yeah, but I was a little bit bummed with that, right? Like I wasted my turn with Moo's first turn with that strike shot. Why did I do that? Well, okay, I guess I didn't actually have to hit it on the weak point, but I had enough previous damage. But taking that top set now, we only have the turbines left. And the turbines, of course, with just the cannon bases, I feel like once you get to the cannon base level, it gets a little bit easier. You know, especially when you have speed up monsters to help you out. It certainly makes it easier. So now that the turbines are gone, we can focus our attention on Catastrophe. We got the weak point on the top left and the bottom right. So again, make sure you path your way so that you can try and hit both as you're running around, because remember, every time you hit it physically, it will move to the other position. And there are only two positions for Catastrophe, so it's easy to remember. Now I'm going to hopefully do this right. Right, so now I am nudged up against the weak point. So the next time I hit Catastrophe there, and then Succubus, I should do a lot of damage, but I happen to get a critical on Moo's attack there, which just wiped him out instead. So I, again, didn't get to show you how awesome Succubus is when she's positioned properly, but you know what? Sometimes luck with the critical is good enough. So as you saw, the reward for the 19th floor of the Kinki no Goku is 5 orbs. So that is pretty tasty. I will take that and use it for a future gacha hatcher. Next up, we've got 20, where you get your next opportunity to try and farm for Setsuna. We won't go into the EX Setsunas unless somehow I get it before the session of the Kinki no Goku is over, but we will at least keep going until I get stopped. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye.